Don't want to give me a COVID test? Fine, you can pay me to drive around looking for one. This happened back in the middle of the pandemic. I was working in a food factory at the time. I was sitting in my car during my break when my sister messaged me to let me know she had tested positive. I had been with her just 2 days before. This was not during a lockdown. So I knew I needed to do a test. I didn't want to go back inside knowing I could spread it. So I messaged my manager on Facebook telling him what happened. He messaged me back and told me to meet him outside the front door. He came and met me and told me hang on while he went to the main office and got me a test. When he came back, he told me they had limited supply and they didn't want to run out. He was as baffled as I was. It was beyond his control. He told me I'd have to pop to the chemist for one. They were free. Fine. Whatever. If it gets me out of work for a little while. I drove to the nearest chemist a mile up the road to discover it was closed. Then it hit me that it was a bank holiday. I checked online trying to find a chemist that was open. There were a few advertised as open, but they were closed when I went to them. As a last resort, I asked on the family chat if anyone had any tests. My dad replied and said yes, and that my younger brother is at home. By the time I drove to my dad's house, took the test, waited for the result, negative, and drove back to work, it had been an hour and a half. I was clocked in, so they had to pay me an hour and a half's wages to drive around. My manager was pissed until I reminded him it was a bank holiday. And it was lucky that my dad had tests or I couldn't have gone back to work that day. We were understaffed that day too. TLDR, employer wouldn't give me a COVID test. So I got to disappear for a while. He told me they had limited supply and they didn't want to run out. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I can't give you that. It's my last one. If I give you this one, I won't have any more if someone comes in who wants one. Should have charged them your mileages for running around town to get the test. You didn't get compensated for your gas and mileage. Send that in too. That doesn't even sound malicious. That just sounds like good faith compliance was inconvenient for them. During COVID, my friend got it and decided to get in a car with me and my other friend for 3 hours. We weren't aware that she was positive and she knew that she was feeling sick. She contacted me that she had tested positive and I had just got done with my class of 48 months. Old babies, so to say I was pissed was an understatement. I told the secretary who told my boss. And I had to dob in my other friend. I told him that I went shopping with her and I might be positive. My other friend was sent home and I was told to shelter in place until my coworker's class. We were in another branch. Was finished and then leave. I got my test done on the way home and tested negative, fortunately. But I was so pissed she put infants in danger. Your employer treating COVID tests like I do consumables in video games. Sure, I need them now, but I might need them more later. Good thing they saved their precious tests. Manager was mad over 90 minutes? I would have milked this for the day off, it's a bank holiday, and then showed up at 10:30 the next day after waiting for the pharmacy to open and allow time for testing. Where the malicious part? I would have gone home and clocked out at the end of my shift. Not going to steal tests from my family just to get back to the office quicker.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.